Paladin against the Cube Warlock, which, while not a terrible matchup like against the Control Warlock, I would not like it. I would rather be on the Paladin or on the Warlock side.
Yeah, the same for sure. But again, the Paladin can just blow it out the water from time to time. It can also sort of wriggle around a little bit from time to time.
That's what Murlocs do. They're basically fish.
They are actually fish, yeah. Sorry to Murloc fans out there, or any Murlocs who may be watching.
It's alright. They can't actually write angry letters because they don't have hands.
Or pens, because they get, like, waterlogged. Anyway, I know what I'm going to do this turn. Press the magic green button.
I agree. Is this one of those matchups, Neil, where you just go for hero power as much as you can?
I think unless an opportunity presents itself for you to not do that, then yes. This double eagle horn bow, you want to get those charges into the face from the bows before the taunts get established.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, you're pressing that button a lot.
I do just want to point out that your response to my question there of do you use it as much as you can was basically just, if it's good, you do. If it's bad, you don't.
Next time, ask a better question.
Fair play, fair play.
So, anyway, the difficulty here is being presented by this double eagle horn bow.
Yeah.
Like, you want to play bear shark, but also you've got 4 charges of bow to get through, probably in about 6 turns, and you don't want to just be playing bows all your life.
I think you just do play bear shark here.
I think so too.
You know, for the moment, like, Tar Creeper is obviously scary, but if your opponent's going coin Tar Creeper, the only good play for them next turn is, what, second Tar Creeper? Or maybe Doomsayer, I suppose, as that is in the deck as well. But Switch is clearly going for a different line of play.
He's going to get through this in 2 turns and then make the bear shark and the veteran in 1 turn just to get a burst of board, basically.
So clearly he's thinking he doesn't want to attack into a minion at all into this Tar Creeper, which I don't know if I necessarily agree with. Like, I think going for Bear Shark on turn 3, Weapon and Acarus Veteran to burst through it, and then get the Bear Shark attacking through to face on turn 4 might have been a slightly more effective line of play.
Again, that does waste a bow charge over the course of the game, because I don't think with that line you get your second bow's charges used into that face. I'm not saying I disagree, I just think that might have been how he went with that.
Yeah, and you know, this obviously does have the benefit of giving him the biggest board possible. None of his minions have even been damaged, let alone killed. While there is obviously the availability for a Defile to clear things off here, this is still looking good for Switch at the moment, with no Dark Pact to activate this Lackey quite yet, and pretty much every defensive opportunity outside of, as I mentioned, a Void Lord off of that Lackey, Switch is going to be getting in a tremendous amount of damage here.
And what I'd like to point out as well is look at his hand now, it's so smooth, where
so
it was
lovely.
clunky and messy before, so it has unlocked a lot of his problems that he had.
Yeah.
He's still got a lot more at the moment though.
Absolutely.
See what you get, see where you stand. So now you have to bow down the Doomguard to defend it, so you're missing a turn of ping, but...
Oh, do you?
So if you go face there, 16...
Do you even go face? Like, do you just go hero power there? Like, what is
yeah,
your
you've got
opponent
1
going
turn.
to do?
You have got 1 turn where you could hero power there. You didn't have to bow, I guess.
So your opponent just discarded their cube, sorry, so you're not too afraid of cube pact on the following turn, as they would obviously have to have the second one in hand.
On the other side of this, like, what are you scared of? Next turn, if he gets any sort of Void Lord cheek down, you just owl it, hit him in the face for 10. Turn 8 usually turns out to be the key in this deck because of the way that 3, 3, and 2 works.
Right. Okay, yeah. Now that I think about it, I probably do agree with you, as it's unlikely your opponent can kill off this Misha on this turn. It's unlikely they put a taunt in the way, as they would have to have exactly Lackey Pact, and neither of those cards would have to have had been discarded. So because 4, don't know if you know this, is actually a larger number than 3, and the Misha attacking to face is more impactful than the bow, it probably works out slightly better.
May end up getting an extra point of damage, which could be everything.
Exactly. Every point matters.
Talking of which, that's really nice right about now.
Yeah. Everyone's favourite sickly little friend.
Great to see him come back into the meta. You don't look at all convinced by that statement.
It depends what you want to see in a game. Like, this is obviously what some people love, just some classic SM Orc action, as Switch is looking at like he is almost certainly going to be taking this through to a victory. The one card that he has left in hand is the one card Switch does not want him to have, obviously, in the Owl to push forward quite easily lethal damage here with no Silence, no Dark Pact, no Spellstone available. Seogui is very likely, or is definitely going to be losing in this scenario, I believe. And so Switch, is bringing this back up to 2 games apiece, and it will indeed come down to that matchup that we mentioned earlier on in Paladin up against Warlock, which Switch, to me, actually showed some pretty intuitive play with this Murloc Paladin, especially in those early, like, 2 or 3 turns, which is the most important as a Murloc Paladin. Really felt like he knew what he was doing.